Magnus Carlsen delivers a checkmate just with his pawns in this game against Peter Sudler. The game happened in 2019 against Peter Sudler in Germany. And if you haven't followed or subscribed our page, yes, please do so, as we'll be posting regular such videos. So now this is the Sicilian being played by Magnus, and this is the old Sicilian defense being played. And after the initial opening move, now d6 is played, empowering both the pawns in the center, and knight retrieves to d2, and Magnus just develops his knight. These are usual positions for Sicilian, and Peter just moves his knights to f1, trying to reposition his knight into a better square. And Magnus understands this and retrieves his knight as well, and then counters Peter's knight to d5, moves with knight to b6, and once the knights are exchanged, the position becomes like this. And Peter just moves c3, and Magnus castles on the king side, and knight then after moving two squares on the towards the back, it moves again to the e3, eyeing for this particular squares on the center of the board. These are good squares. So Magnus realizes this and attacks and pins the knights for against Peter's bishop. And once the king moves away, because this pawn is here is inactive because of the bishop here. So the king had to move away to release this particular pawn from that pin. So once that happened, then Magnus just pushed the pawns to f5, attacking the pawn in the center. And once the bishop is now exposed, so once Magnus just exchanges the bishops, and then he takes the knight, because he could do that because there was no forcing move for the knight at that particular position. So once the knight and bishop are exchanged, Magnus just plays another in between move, closing the attack or the line of the bishop. So once the bishop retreats, Magnus just takes the pawn on f5, and as you can see, after all the exchanges and everything, Magnus have got his rook developed. So Peter just pushes his queen, attacking the rook, and Magnus just retrieves the rook to f6 position. And after the pawn move, so Magnus here just takes, and once it takes, you can see that this bishop is still attacking the pawn over here, and this pawn over here is attacked twice. So in normal cases, the rooks will get exchanged and the queen will come here, and the rook could go here, creating a battery. But here Peter just played this move, attacking this central pawn over here, leaving this pawn behind basically. So which actually become decisive later in the game. So Magnus just leaves this pawn as is, and tried to support this pawn, and to create that storming attack. And once the pawn was taken by the queen, Magnus just develops his other rook with an attack on the Peter's queen, and the queen had to move away, which allows the knight to jump in again, and developing into the center of the board. And once the queen moves away, the knight again jumps. So here Peter tried to create a battery of queen and the rook, and which the knight actually cuts off that battery, because once the knight is here, the battery is no longer exists, because the knight covers the line. So after that, the rook goes to f2, and Magnus just attacks the queen again, and he offers just a free piece. So after this, Magnus just pushes his pawn and go for the attack. So as you can see, both these pawns, the knight over here and both the rooks and the queen, are contributing in the attack, and it's only benefited by the two rooks. And bishop here is not doing anything much at the moment, and the queen is displaced at the moment. So it paves ways to the perfect attack, and it also get amplified by uh, Peter's this e2 rook f2 e2 move, and which Magnus counters by pushing his pawns. And then the rook again had to come back, wasting. So he literally wasted a move, and Magnus just develops his queen, getting ready for the attack. And then Peter tries to bring back his queen, and because it was not possible to do that anymore, because the queen doesn't have any good square. And then Magnus just strengthens support on the particular pawn over here. And then again, this particular mistake was played, the h3 move. So here no matter what like once the pawn is taken, the king is quite a bit exposed. So if you take here now, if the pawn takes back, it will result in a checkmate. So he was forced to move to place this g3 move. So even in if the g3 move is played, it's still checkmate like this. So once the um, rook goes away, creating an attack, it's a sacrificial attack because but Magnus just ignores it and moves ahead with the attack. So the king do not have any other place to move because these two squares are guarded by the knight here. So and after the king, there's only one place. So after the king moves here, it's a checkmate basically. So here the king cannot move here because the support of the queen is here. But the rook, like if he had another breathing space, he could have just taken this pawn with his queen or something like that. He could have done something, but there was literally no space, and the checkmate was delivered. So that's the game. So thanks very much for watching. Please do watch our upcoming videos. Thank you.